Hi there. I want to go over 5 quick things that you can try for overcoming chaos in your life. Now, this chaos may have right behind it some sort of addiction, a trauma history, or perhaps a current situation or a history of domestic violence. There's many different sources of chaos, but there's at least 5 common things that we can try for overcoming chaos. The first thing is morning meditation or prayer. So try to engage into some sort of spiritual system. I'm a Christian, so of course I'm biased in that direction, but every spiritual system in the world has a practice of meditation and prayer that you can develop. Even agnostics, even atheists are now doing meditation just for the benefit of calming down the mind. So pray for the day ahead. Just get a few minutes to meditate. If you're praying to a higher power, pray for what you need to stay sober, or to respond wisely to any of your PTSD triggers, or to respond wisely to a situation where domestic violence may occur. If you're a domestic violence survivor, meditation or prayer, of course, is praying to stay safe, and it's helping you to stay calm when the anxiety and the fear starts kicking up. If you're a perpetrator, this is something that helps as a part of anger management. And it helps you to tell the difference of when something is a boundary that you need to set versus a power and control issue. You don't take power over people, but you do need to set boundaries. So sometimes those are confusing to tell apart. Meditation or prayer is going to help you tell the difference. The next thing to try is reading. Every recovery tradition is going to have a set of literature that they recommend. So for Alcoholics Anonymous, it's the big book. For Narcotics Anonymous, it's going to be something else. For Sex Addicts Anonymous, it's going to be either the green book or the white book, depending on which group you're in. The point is, there's literature that's related to overcoming addiction. There's also literature that's related to overcoming and surviving trauma or domestic violence. So for trauma, read The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. I don't have a good book recommendation for domestic violence, but before you start reading, if domestic violence is a part of your situation, first thing you need to do is get safe. The next thing to try to overcome chaos is check-ins or sponsor calls. Now, this doesn't have to be a daily gush call, but it can be a short 5-minute call just to say, hey, what's going on today? What are the emotions that you've had today? What are the recovery activities that you've done today? Are there any triggers that you need to worry about? And then what's your plan to stay sober? What's your plan to manage any PTSD triggers? What's your plan to manage any safety situations that might arise? If you're a domestic violence survivor, there's some safety planning that might be a part of the day. If you're a domestic violence perpetrator, there's some anger management planning that you'll have to do as part of your day. The next thing to try is meetings. There are support groups or accountability groups for every substance that people can get addicted to, every behavior that people can get addicted to. There are support and accountability groups for domestic violence and for trauma. The point is, get in a group where people are facing the same challenges that you are, because you need to know, not just in your head, not just from a textbook level, but you need to know through physical experience that you are not alone. Now, I can tell you that till I'm blue in the face. You are not alone. And you need to know with physical experience that people have overcome and people have become sober and become free from the chaos in their lives. You need to be around people who can show that to you. I can tell you that till I'm blue in the face, and it's not enough. So go to a meeting, go to a group. And then, of course, end the day with an evening meditation or prayer. So pray with gratitude for the day that you had, especially if you stayed sober. If you had a slip or you responded badly to a trigger, then pray for the humility and support to learn from your slip, and for the serenity and the strength not to slip to those same triggers in the future. And of course, I do need to give credit where credit is due. These 5 things to try for overcoming chaos are inspired by Douglas Weiss from the Heart to Heart Counseling Center in Colorado Springs. Something I've added to this resource is an efforts and results tracker. The goal is that you're tracking your efforts and tracking your results. At least once a week, sit down and look at the things that you're focusing on, the efforts that you're focusing on, and say, how can I do this thing more often? How can I do it better? Increasing the quality. And of course, track, is it working for you? How often do you feel overwhelmed with life? How often do you feel cravings to act out or these other things that you're trying to reduce? How intensely do you feel those things? Track your efforts, track your results. It will make a difference. Now, some safety things. If you have felt suicidal at any level, please call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline at 800-273-8255 or call 911 or your local emergency crisis line. If you have experienced domestic violence, you need to get safe. So please call the National Domestic Violence Prevention Hotline at 800-799-7233. If you're the perpetrator, turn yourself in and get the help you need. Now, if you're ready to start overcoming your personal and relationship challenges, please give us a call at 360-558-7663 or go online to restored.life and click the Get Started button. Thanks. See you next time.